Coming to developers, what is the implication of this device? Firstly, applications are built using Silverlight and C#, as my friend here mentioned. You also use .NET frameworks. So there is inbuilt capability for different kind of metro theme controls that can be used by applications. Your different views that you saw, there are controls available so that you can build your applications using that. And the primary development tool, as we talked earlier, is Visual Studio 2010. And then there is a UI development tool called Expression Blends. So these two are the main development tools for applications. For games, you need to develop using Microsoft XNA, which is a framework geared towards game development. And all your Xbox 360 games are developed using this. And it supports 2D and 3D gaming development in a very good manner. Microsoft for as a development tool again has what is called Microsoft push notifications, which is the equivalent of Apple push notification or Google C2DM. So these are real-time messaging mechanisms to the device from a server that you would have. And Microsoft provides this service free to developers, whoever has the developer account. And there are different types of notifications that you can send to the device. The first one is called the live tile, which lets that tile that you saw on the device. So you kind of provide all the different types of animations for it. The second one is the what is called a toast notification, wherein a message comes in for a brief moment and then it goes away. And then there are notifications which are consumed by the application itself and not really visible to the user. Okay, guys, can we give 2 minutes? And disappears. So you start seeing different types of animation around the content. Yeah, you can do. But it is all backend control. So when you send a notification down, so you say, this is the content I want to show. This is the front tile. This is the back tile. This is the type of animation. You can. The only flip side of the tile animation is that so you can just have so many tiles at the top, right? So you do not see all the tiles when you start your phone. And if there are some animations for a tile below, you will never come to know unless and until you scroll all the way down. So that is one of the limitations that critics talk about for live tiles. But it is somewhat of an interesting addition there.
Have apps started using silent notification? Is there a popular experience?
So there are limitations to use of silent notifications. So only if your application is running in the background, then any silent notification that you get can be used by the application. So and Microsoft kills your application if it is not used for 15 days. So that's when you would end up losing the content and or anything that silent notifications. And yeah, sure.
I've seen that when apps have some updates, even though they are not running now, you get a message in the marketplace icon. You get the live icon changes.
Okay.
It shows that you have this many updates.
Okay.
Once you go in, it shows what all updates are available for all the applications you have installed, not running.
Okay.
So you can even update in that way. That is a silent update.
Oh, that will be completely silent. Okay. So how does it kind of show that?
On the marketplace icon,
okay.
It changes. It gives you the number of updates available.
Okay. Okay.
I don't know iOS.
Okay.
So marketplace, basically what we are saying is it can handle all kind of notifications even outside of update notifications.
No, in marketplace we have only app update notifications, and
Okay.
the notifications are on their respective tiles.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Okay, and then the last bullet point here is about Windows Marketplace, as we touched upon. So that is something to be aware of. So this is the only way to distribute applications. So all you developers, if you develop any application, you will have to upload it to Marketplace for approval process. And once it is approved, it becomes available and gets published on the Marketplace. And there is a membership of $99 every year for Marketplace. Okay, coming to some of the key limitations of the device itself. So apart from that, this being fairly or yet to mature operating system. So as you start using the device itself, you will start noticing that there are bits and pieces which are not all feature functionality is available on this, what is available on your Androids and other operating system. So the notable exceptions are things like your no NFC support on this device still, your if you decide to use a Wi-Fi hotspot, you cannot connect to a non-broadcast signal, something that you would use in home. So there are limitations like those which will start coming in as you start using the phone more and more. Apart from those, there is very limited hardware support. So they are very strict. Currently, Microsoft is very strict about what kind of hardware they will support yet. There is no support for 4G. It's not relevant here, but in the US and Europe, 4G is a big, there is a big push towards that, and there is no support for it. So in many ways, this is a generation behind your latest Androids and iOSs. The apps, so even though we said in the marketplace there are about 70,000 odd applications, they are still not mature, because most of these are like version 1 or version 2 of the application. They are not functionally equivalent to what is available on Android or iOS. So let's take the simple example of Angry Birds, right? So there's not so many variety of Angry Birds that is available for Windows Phone 7 as you can compare to iOS or Android. So even though the numbers does not matter here, it is the maturity of those apps are still somewhat behind. That is one of the limitation. And finally, from a business perspective, there is very limited support for this device in businesses. So there is no way for enterprises to manage this device effectively other than by using what is called Exchange ActiveSync protocol, which is available with Microsoft Exchange server. And there is no, I think the bigger miss is this device does not have even a encryption in place, device encryption in place. So those are some of the reasons why no VPNs as well. So in many sense that there is very limited support for businesses, yes, yet, and that is one of the reasons it's not still popular, and it is a consumer only phone at this point in time. Yeah, so it's a complete shift that they took from all about enterprises before to all about consumers now, and they are now trying to get towards the middle ground. Okay, finally the reality check. So we did see about this phone. So personally, I do like this phone a lot. It's a lot usable, even from doing my work activities as well. But the reality is that this is still it commands a very small segment or a pie of the overall smartphone sales. It accounted for less than 2% of worldwide smartphone sales in fourth quarter as published by Gartner. And even other lesser known operating systems like Samsung Bada had sold more number of devices than Windows Phone 7. There are multiple reasons why analysts say this is the reason or this is happening. So some of them say it is because of the undue or unfair control that Microsoft exercises over the upgrade process of the device itself. Some of them talk about for the lack of enterprise support, that is one of the reasons, and also some of them talk about the limited hardware support. So there are different reasons why analysts contribute this limited share towards. But I think more and more people are now realizing that the overall operating system one is a fairly solid and a fairly usable one, and people are hopeful, especially Gartner, who is the #1 enterprise-centric analyst who focus on mobile device space. They are very positive about Windows Phone 7, and they expect that this will increase to about 8% by end of 2012. So it remains to be seen if that is true or not, but definitely I think there is a general feeling that over a period of time this operating system will start doing fairly well.
Kind of related, but I did read an piece of data recently where someone had done a what tablets people will be willing to buy, if they will buy it at the end of this year. And expectedly, iPad was number one, but Windows 8 tablets has shot up to second position. Last year that was Amazon Kindle, and it did well as well. But in terms of just, it's not.
Device. So they are, and there is also HTC devices that are being announced as well. So they are being fair with multiple partners, and they do realize they need it. If they side with Nokia alone, others will lose, and others will not sell it. Especially like Samsung. Just a second. So Samsung is not too positive about Windows Phone 7, so their mainstay is Android because they seem to be selling very well. While if you look at other manufacturers like HTC, so they depend on Windows Phone 7 for their success as well, because their market share in Android is dropping significantly. So, and Microsoft has been, I guess, playing safe there. Not just focusing on Nokia and giving other vendors also a fair share of what they deserve.
My guess is that whatever preferential treatment will come, that will not happen in public announcements and so on. It will probably just come up in the roadmap process. If Nokia really needs something, they may prioritize it. But I don't think, given Microsoft's history, they'll publicly say that they want to just focus on one vendor versus another.
If I can add something, I think this is only because Nokia wants to depend completely on Microsoft for their smartphones. They used to use their own operating system, but now they are completely converting into Microsoft's thing for smartphones. So maybe they are giving more preference because these people prefer only Microsoft, whereas Samsung goes for all the things Android, Vada, as well as Windows.
I think end of the day, Microsoft, the way they would look at it is they would want to win over those hardware manufacturers as well and have them focus on just Windows. That's the best case scenario for Microsoft.
And we've also seen Sony also coming into play these days. There is one device of Sony coming with Windows.
Phones and okay.
So tablets, with which company they're partnering?
So currently there is no tablet support yet. So it will come with the next operating system, which is Windows 8. So that is geared towards tablets. And I think at that time you will see tablets from everyone. So we have heard about talks about HP coming up with Windows 8 tablets. Nokia is also saying they want to bring in tablets. I'm sure all the Samsungs, all of them. Yeah. So.
They're already giving out devices from Samsung to developers.
Yeah. So. Okay, so this device has a Windows 8. So if you're interested to look at what it looks like on a laptop, so this has the consumer preview or the beta that Microsoft recently released. So take a look at it in the break. You may enjoy it.
Can we use Windows 8? We have directly installed.
No, so this one is just a beta. So, but yeah, you should be able to run it on VMs as well. So,
Any guidance they have provided for this?
I'm not aware of that. Sorry.